Hello, welcome back to Reading the Decades with me. This video is about all the books I want to read this autumn and winter. First on the list is Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials series. Although published in the 90s, I actually haven't read that book or the whole series as a child, but it's still kind of nostalgic to me because I've always seen it in the bookshops around when I browsed them as a child. And I have to say, I probably would have liked it as a child a lot better than as an adult. Fun story about Northern Lights, the first part of this trilogy. I actually picked that book as my book on, what was it, National World Book Day, I don't know what it's called in Germany. And I got 20 copies of that book in German that I then was able to gift to schools. And actually, none of the schools I contacted wanted to have that book for whatever reason. It was free, it was a donation basically. So I ended up with 20 copies of Northern Lights, which then I finally read one time though, as an adult. And a few months later, I actually had a university seminar on it. I took a seminar on fantasy literature and we read the first book of His Dark Materials in that seminar. I liked it both times I've read it, but not enough that I decided I want to read the whole trilogy. So fast forward to 2019, autumn 2019, when the second book of the Book of Dust was released, and I live in the UK now. It's in bookshops everywhere. You basically see it everywhere. And it's nice and big. I love big books, and it's red and the cover looks gorgeous. And when you take off the dust jacket, it's just a perfect book. And I kind of hopped on the bandwagon. I kind of got interested in His Dark Materials again. So I decided to read the whole trilogy this winter, and also then continue with the Book of Dust basically. This copy I picked up is from the Everyman's Library collection, which is a bind-up of all the 3 books in the first trilogy. A similar story I have with Narnia. I read the first one, like the actual first one, not The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, as a teenager I think, and well, it didn't have a great impact on me, so I didn't continue reading the series. And also, similar to Philip Pullman, I don't really like the deep religious aspects both authors put into their works. I've never been quite interested in that. But then again, in the same seminar where I've read Northern Lights, we also read The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and well, it was okay. I read it, but I didn't progress after the second book basically. But now I decided to pick up the whole series and read this winter. But I also want to read other works by C.S. Lewis. Obviously, The Chronicles of Narnia, his most popular work, his most well-known work. He has written lots of books on Christianity and actually also literature, and this is what I'm going to pick up soon, I hope. He has written 2 books on literature that I'm extremely interested in, or one is on literature and one is on reading, and I definitely want to read those 2. And if I think I like them, or if they impress me, or if I get whatever out of them, I think I might pick up even more. Another aspect is that I want to find out more about the Inklings, which was a circle of scholars and authors in Oxford. Tolkien, for example, was a member of that, so there are also quite a few books on the Inklings, and I might get very interested in that and pick up a few books on the Inklings as well. And then the last series, not a classic yet, but maybe in the future, maybe it has an impact. I don't think so, to be honest. but who knows. And that series is actually a contemporary fantasy series which got translated from the French. The second book just got released in English and in other languages other than French. I think in French the fourth one comes out early next year, and I read the first book when it just got translated to the English, which was 1 year ago, 2 years ago, something around that point of time. And before I moved, I got rid of it because actually I didn't like it that much. What I talk about here is the Mirror Visitor Quartet by Christelle Doubles. The first one is the blue one, which is called A Winter's Promise, which is about Ophelia, who lives in this fantastical world and enters an arranged marriage. She moves to a different part of that fantastical world together with her husband-to-be. She's very much on her own. She's very secluded in this place. She can't find new friends. She doesn't make a good impression of herself. But one advantage she has is that she can walk through mirrors and can unravel lots of secrets because of that. I wasn't impressed by the first book because it had lots of problematic parts in it, especially when it comes to feminism. So I didn't think actually I would continue with that series and got rid of it, which hurt me, I have to say, because this cover is absolutely stunning. So again, fast forward to autumn 2019, and the second book got translated, which is called The Missing of Claire de Lune. And yes, I fell under the magical spell of this absolutely beautiful cover, and I thought, oh, why not repurchase the first book and give it another try? So here we are. I repurchased A Winter's Promise. I purchased The Missing of Claire de Lune Part 2 of the series, and I remember quite a fair bit of the first book, so I think I'll only reread half of it because I can't remember all the details anymore, what has happened in a new place. I only know like the main events basically, so I really hope I will like this book a lot better, and I also hope I like it better the second time I'm reading it. I will still have my problems with certain parts in the story, but I try to overlook it for the sake of getting a nice, cozy, atmospheric story. So these are the 3 book series I want to read this autumn winter. There are obviously lots of other books I want to read during the cold season of the year, but these are the ones that I hope are going to make the deepest impact on me as a reader. Let me know if you have read them, or if you want to read them, or if you have read anything else by C.S. Lewis or by Philip Pullman. He also is mainly known for his dark materials, but he has published lots of other works, and I'm interested also in his essay collection, which is on writing and reading, I think, so I might give that one a try as well. I hope I see you very soon, and happy reading.